And a top Justice Department official says the review of the Jeffrey Epstein files is over. The same official indicated there would be no new charges. Now the Trump administration is facing backlash from Epstein's survivors and Democrats. This was California Congressman Ro Khanna yesterday.
There is a demand for elite accountability, but the survivors' lawyers that I've talked to have said that the survivors are still upset. They're upset that many of their names accidentally came out without redactions, and they want to make sure the rest of the files come out.
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us from our Washington bureau with more on this. Scott, you've been sifting through as much of this as you can. What's in this so-called final batch?
It's a process. We're still working through millions of pages here, Errol. And it's worth noting these were released more than 40 days after the legal deadline for the Department of Justice to do so. No one besides Epstein and former associate Ghislaine Maxwell has been charged, but the Department of Justice insisting its work is done has only fueled more controversy.
The millions of pages of Jeffrey Epstein materials show the prominent men who were once in the disgraced sex offender circle, including these photos of former Prince Andrew on all fours over an unidentified woman on the floor. Queen Elizabeth's son has denied all wrongdoing, but British Prime Minister Keir Starmer called on him to testify to Congress. And this appears to be an email from Elon Musk to Epstein in 2012, asking, "What day, night will be the wildest party on your island?" Sent 4 years after Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting a minor for prostitution. Musk, who repeatedly has called for the release of an Epstein client list, denies any wrongdoing, writing over the weekend, "If I actually wanted to spend my time partying with young women, it would be trivial for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein." The new documents also show Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick arranged a visit to Epstein's island with his wife and children in 2012, after which Epstein passed along this message to Lutnick: "Nice seeing you." But late last year, Lutnick said he had cut off ties with Epstein years earlier.
My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
On Friday, Lutnick told the New York Times, "I spent zero time with him." A Commerce Department spokesman said Secretary Lutnick had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing. Other emails show New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch asked Epstein to connect him with women. In a May 2013 email, Epstein invited Tisch to his mansion late in the evening. Tisch responded, "Can I expect trouble?" In a statement Friday, Tisch said he and Epstein exchanged emails about adult women, adding, "I did not take him up on any of his invitations and deeply regret associating with Epstein." President Trump consistently has said he kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club and ended their friendship 2 decades ago. And while there are hundreds of references to Trump in the trove of newly released documents, the president claimed they further exonerate him.
Not only does it absolve me, it's the opposite of what people were hoping, the radical left.
The Friday release was only partial, just more than half of the projected 6 million pages. But the Department of Justice now says the review is over. A new statement from Epstein survivors said, "This is not over. We will not stop until the truth is fully revealed and every perpetrator is finally held accountable."
Major issue in this release, dozens of unredacted pictures of young women's nude bodies and faces. The New York Times flagged at least 40 explicit photos to the Department of Justice. Meanwhile, CBS News has learned several lawmakers are demanding immediate access to the records to check if the Department of Justice is illegally withholding files, Errol.
All right, Scott, thank you very much.